Guru Sri Juta Padakamalang.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel, Bhagavad-gita. Here it is. Here we have it, Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and my name is Lavanga Latika. So we're in the 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge. We're trying to understand Krishna's explanation here of how he relates to this world, or how the world relates to him, and how we can look at it. And I'm reading text 6. Yatha kashasthito nityang vayu sarvatra go mahan tatha sarvani bhutani matstha nityupadharaya. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me. So yeah, it's very poetic. We see the wind, we see it move. We don't really see it any limitation. The air can, practically speaking, go everywhere, and it changes the atmosphere. If it's very strong or it's very soft, if it comes from the north, it makes everything very cold. If it comes from the south, at least if you're on, at least if you're in Sweden, that's how it works. If the wind is from the south, it becomes very mild and warm. But actually, the wind always exists within the sky. It can't go anywhere else. It's always resting there. And similarly, all created being rest in Krishna, because there's nothing but Krishna. We may not see Krishna. It's like we don't really see the sky, but it is a space within where everything has its place and where there's room for everything. I read a purport. For the ordinary person, it is almost inconceivable how the huge material creation is resting in him. But the Lord is giving an example which may help us to understand. The sky may be the biggest manifestation we can conceive, and in that sky, the wind or air is the biggest manifestation in the cosmic world. The movement of the air influences the movement of everything, but although the wind is great, it is still situated within the sky. The wind is not beyond the sky. Similarly, all the wonderful cosmic manifestations are existing by the supreme will of God, and all of them are subordinate to that supreme will. As we generally say, not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus everything is moving under His will. By His will everything is being created, everything is being maintained, and everything is being annihilated. Still He is aloof from everything, as the sky is always aloof from the activities of the wind. So this is a way of seeing God everywhere. And then sometimes we want to argue with that. You know, why is it Krishna's will? Why would Krishna want this blade of grass to move, or, you know, everything to be created or annihilated? Well, if He didn't, it wouldn't happen. And the reason He does set up this material world, it is for us, so we have somewhere to go when we don't want to be in the spiritual world. When we don't want to be engaged in our constitutional position of being a spirit, soul, living entity, part and parcel of God, then I guess Krishna could just turn us off, or, you know, put us in a box somewhere. That's not what He does. He sets this material world up, which is actually fantastic. Everything interacts. Our karmas interact with all the others' karmas. We live and we die, and it somehow works. And sometimes it's problematic, and then some people, they don't seem to be touched by these difficulties at all, because we have different karmas, but we coexist in the same world. And that world is nothing but Krishna's energy, so there's nothing but Krishna there, but we don't see Him personally. In the Upanishads, it is stated, Tad bhishavata pavate. It is out of the fear of the Supreme Lord that the wind is blowing. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it's stated, Itasya va aksharasya prashane gargi surya chandramasa vidritau tishtata itasya va aksharasya prashasane gargi Dyav apritivyau vidrita tishtata. By the supreme order, under the superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the moon, the sun, and the other great planets are moving. In the Brahma Samhita also this is stated. Jat chakshuresha savita sakala grahanang aradya samasta suramurti rashe shakteja yagya yasyagya brahmati sambrita kala chakro govindamadi purushang tamahang bhajami. Yes, sometimes we hear, I don't know where it comes from, I'm not familiar with every group, but it's like a meditational mantra. By my will the sun moves and the moon moves, and obviously that's not true. You know, I don't understand these things, but I have heard it. So you try to meditate on that the sun and the moon is moving according to your will. So if you just change your mind and you want the moon to go back down again, can you do it? Absolutely not. Krishna can do whatever he likes. So he set up this world with its specific, we call them natural laws, to make things work. So he makes it work because that's what he wants to do. He wants to give us a functional world where everything has both the possibility to allow us to forget Krishna and also the possibility to remind us of Krishna. So when we look at the sun, we look at the moon, we're reminded of God. But if we don't want to think of God, then we don't. But all these things, they show us Krishna's powers, but it's not him directly. You know, God doesn't have to come there and, you know, grab the sun and move it. He set it into being with his energies, and from his desires everything takes place. And he does desire this for us. It's not that he desires us to come here and suffer and die, but he desires us to have a place where some learning takes place, some experience takes place. Our desires can be fulfilled up to a point, because some of our desires are contradictory. Some of our desires are impossible. It's like we would say, I would like to light a fire. Yes, fine, here's some wood, here's some matches, light a fire. And he said, yeah, but I would like to light it with water. No, you can't do that. So I would like to be separate from Krishna. Fine, we get a material world. You can have this existence. But I would like to be fully satisfied here. Impossible, because our nature is spiritual. That can only happen in connection to Krishna in a spiritual relationship. This is a description of the movement of the sun. It is said that the sun is considered to be one of the eyes of the Supreme Lord, and that it has immense potency to diffuse heat and light. Still, it is moving in its precise orbit by the order and the supreme will of Govinda. So, Govinda is the name of Krishna, a very personal name. So, from the Vedic literature, we find evidence that this material manifestation, which appear to us to be very wonderful and great, is under the complete control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This will be further explained in the later verses of this chapter. I think I read one more verse. Text 7. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakriting yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punasthani kalpadao vishridhyamyaham. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. So we get a little, perspective here on existence. We may think a year is a long time, we may think our lifetime is a long time, we may think a century is a long time. For Krishna, it's really not long, because Krishna is not touched by time. We can see, we were reading that previously, I like to hear about it, how Brahma, the first created living being in the universe exists as long as his life. He lives 100 years, but his 100 years are a little longer than ours. We counted on these yugas, on these cycles, that his day is 1000 Divya yugas, which came out something like, I'm going to have to calculate it again. Kali Yuga is 436,000 years, the whole Yuga is 4 million years. So 1,000 million, that's a billion, right? So 4 billion 360 millions. That's the day, and the night is just as long. That's one day of Lord Brahma's life, and he lives 100 years. So that's how long the universe exists. And for Mahavishnu, that's breathing out, the universes are manifested. Breathing in, they go back inside his body. But within that creation, with every millennium, which, we will hear about it, of course. Every millennium, there's a partial annihilation, and then a partial creation has to take place. I read the purport. The creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material cosmic manifestation are completely dependent on the supreme will of the personality of Godhead. At the end of the millennium means at the death of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years, and his one day is calculated at 4,300 millions of our earthly years. His night is of the same duration. His month consists of 30 such days and nights, and his year of 12 months. After 100 such years, when Brahma dies, the devastation and annihilation takes place. This means that the energy manifestation of the Supreme Lord is again wound up in himself. Then again, when there is a need to manifest the cosmic world, it is done by his will. Bahusyam, although I am one, I shall become many. This is the Vedic aphorism, Chandogya Upanishad. He expands himself in this material energy, and the whole cosmic manifestation again takes place. So yes, we can be a little cosmic. We can have that big picture. And we will have, don't exactly remember, yes, the 11th chapter we hear of the universal form. Then Krishna will show how he manifests in the universe. But actually, as devotees, we don't really need that show of strength, that manifestation of power. We want to see Krishna as that person that we love, and we want to serve him. But when we're on this stage, a little bit in between, it is also very healthy to understand the difference between us and Krishna. Krishna is not just one of the boys who are playing, or that boyfriend of the Gopi girls, or that son of Mother Yashoda. He's also God. He's always God. So he's special like that. A pure devotee doesn't need to see him as God. A pure devotee just loves Krishna because he's so attracted to him in every way. But of course, the pure devotee also has this knowledge, and we are given this knowledge so we can put things in perspective, understand things properly, and know Krishna better and better. And that will also be an inspiration in our devotional service to him. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.